Imagine this. It's a humid Monday evening in Southeast DC, June 5th, 2025. The kind of twilight where the sun dips low, casting long shadows over cracked sidewalks and chain-link fences. 5:54 p.m. A single gunshot cracks the air like thunder in a bottle. Inside a modest row house on the 1800 block of Q Street, an 18-year-old kid named Darrell Anderson crumples to the floor. Blood pools on the worn linoleum. His eyes, wide with shock, stare at the ceiling fan spinning lazy circles. No screams, no chase, just silence after the bang. And in that silence, a family's world ends. How does a boy on the cusp of everything, graduation cap still fresh in his drawer, end up like this? In his own home? Today we're diving deep into that question. We'll walk the streets of Anacostia with Darrell, trace the frantic hours after that shot, and sift through the leads that fizzled like wet fireworks. You'll see the human side, the dreams cut short, the detectives grinding through dead ends, and the shadows that still hide the truth. Because 4 months later, Darrell's killer is out there. And the why, that's the hook that won't let go. Let's back up. Not to the shot, but to the life it stole. Darrell Anderson wasn't just a name on a police report. He was the kid with the easy laugh, the one who'd hoop at the park until the streetlights buzzed on. Born and raised in Southeast, in that patchwork of resilience where folks hold block parties to drown out the sirens. His mom, Tanya, worked double shifts at the hospital cafeteria, dreaming of the day her boy would flip the script on their story. Darrell, he was that hope. Fresh out of Bailu High School just weeks before, diploma framed on the fridge, he talked big about music, beats thumping from his phone, lyrics scribbled in a notebook about rising above the grind. Mum, he'd say, I'm gonna make it so you don't have to punch that clock no more. Friends called him Darrell, the glue guy who mediated beefs before they boiled over. No gang ink on his arms, no street cred he chased. Just a kid navigating the tightrope of Anacostia, where opportunity knocks soft and danger kicks in the door. Picture him that afternoon, sneakers scuffed from pickup games, backpack slung over one shoulder, heading home from chilling with cousins at the corner store, Gatorade in hand, humming a track he was remixing. Ordinary, pure, then nothing. But what turns ordinary into obituary? Southeast DC isn't new to this pain. Q Street's a vein in Anacostia, row houses hugging tight, porches where grandmas sip tea and watch the world spin. It's community, yeah, but laced with the stats that keep folks up. Homicides ticking up in 25, guns too easy to grab. Darrell's block quiet mostly, but whispers of old grudges, turf lines blurring like smoke. Was it random, a stray bullet from some corner hustle, or something personal? A debt unpaid, a look misinterpreted. Tanya found him, rushed home from her shift, key in the lock, calling his name. The door swings open. There he is, in the kitchen, phone still clutched like he was about to text her a joke. She screams, a sound that neighbors say echoed for blocks. Paramedics swarm, lights flashing red-blue against the brick. But it's too late. One shot, center mass, close range. Inside, that detail, it gnaws. Who gets that close to Darrell without a fight? Without him yelling? The kind of trust that turns deadly in a blink. Now rewind the tape in your mind. What if I told you the first clue was right there in the chaos? MPD rolls up fast. Uniforms taping off the scene. Detectives in plain clothes scribbling notes under floodlights. Homicide units on it. Lead investigator, Sergeant Maria Reyes. A veteran with scars from too many nights like this. She kneels by the body, gloved hands tracing the entry wound. Single shooter, she mutters to her partner. Ballistics later confirms, 9mm, hollow point, common street fodder. Untraceable without a match. No shell casings, wiped clean or gun never ejected. Smart, or panic. The house tells a half story. Front door jimmied, just a hair enough for a pro, not a smash and grab. Drawers rifled but nothing big missing. Wallet on the counter, phone buzzing with unanswered texts. Yo D, where you at? from his boy Jamal. Reyes bags it all, her mind already spinning theories. Robbery gone wrong? Nah, too clean. Targeted hit? Maybe, but why Darrell, the kid who ducked trouble like it was rain? Cut to the canvas. Dawn the next day, Reyes and her team knock on every door from Q to Pennsylvania Avenue. Seen anything? Heard voices to neighbors huddle in doorways, eyes darting. Old Mr. Wilkins from across the street. Heard the pop, thought it was fireworks. Saw a shadow slip out the alley. Dark hoodie, quick feet, vague, but it's something. Then the cousin Keisha spills over coffee at the precinct. Darrell mentioned some dude hassling him last week. Older guy from the east side said something about settling up over a borrowed bike that went missing. A name? Nah, just a description: tall, faded tat on the neck. Reyes logs it, cross-references with gang intel. Nothing pings, yet. And the family? Tanya's not breaking. She's channeling rage into flyers. Darrell's face smiling from every poll. $25,000 reward blazing in red. Someone knows. She tells the cameras, voice steel. My boy's worth that and more. You feel that? The quiet fury of a mother turning grief to gasoline. It's what keeps cases like this flickering when they should go cold. But here's the twist that keeps you leaning in. What if the real shadow wasn't a stranger? Dive deeper into Darrell's world, and threads start pulling. He wasn't perfect. Whose kid is at 18, hung with a loose crew? Nothing heavy but enough to brush edges. Snapchat logs from his phone. Blurry pics of dice games. Late night hangs at the rec center. One thread stands out. A beef with a local dealer. Low level over a owed $20 from a lost bet. Petty, sure. But in Anacostia, petty escalates. Reyes pulls CCTV from the corner bodega. Grainy footage. Time-stamped 5:40 p.m. Darrell strolls up, chats with the clerk, buys that Gatorade. Then a figure lingers across the street. Same build as Wilkins' shadow. Hands in pockets. Doesn't approach, just watches. Heart rate up yet, because that footage. It loops in Reyes' mind. She enhances it. Runs facial rec through the database. Hit partial match to a kid named Marcus Tate. 22. Priors for possession. Out on parole. Tate lives 3 blocks over. Connection. Darrell's cousin says they scrapped once over nothing. A spilled drink at a party. Tate's alibi. Home with my girl, watching the game. She backs him. Solid. Or is it? Reyes leans on the doorframe during the interview. Eyes locked. Funny how alibis line up when the heat's on. Tate sweats, but lawyered up quick. No prints. No DNA. Dead end. But that tat Wilkins mentioned, faded skull on the neck. Tate's got one just like it. Pause. Think about that for a second. In a city chewing through young lives like this, how many maybes stack up before you crack the case? Reyes knows. She's got the wall in her office. Photos pinned. Strings connecting dots that refuse to link. By week 2, tips flood the hotline. Anonymous calls about hood politics. A drive-by that wasn't. One hot lead. A burner phone pinged near the scene. Bought cash at a Walmart in Maryland. Traced to a ghost. Ballistics. Fired once then vanished. No matches to other crimes. The maze tighten. Feds loop in. ATF sniffing for gun trails. But it's local grit doing the heavy lift. Reyes as partner. Detective Hale. A burly ex-Marine with a coffee habit that rivals his cynicism. Stares at the map one midnight. This ain't random, Maria. It's personal. Like the shooter knew the back door. He's right. The entry? Rear alley. No forced lock. Insider. Or scoped out. Tanya drops a bomb during a follow-up. Darrell got a call that afternoon. Sounded off. Hung up quick. Said it was old business. Who? She doesn't know. Phone records show a blocked number. Burner again. Open loop, right? We'll circle back because that call, it echoes louder than the shot. Shift gears. Imagine the pressure cooker. Weeks bleed into months. Community vigils light up. Q Street candles flickering under Darrell's photo. Chalk outlines fading in the rain. Tanya's there every time. Arm in arm with activists from the local anti-violence coalition. We won't forget. She vows, but whispers creep in. Why him? He was clean. Reyes feels it too. The weight of Unsolved stacking like unpaid bills. Internal review hits. brass breathing down her neck. Give us something. She doubles down on forensics. Ray canvass the alley. A scuff mark on the fence. Tire tread from a lowrider, partial print. No match, blood spatter, clean kill. No struggle, shooter efficient. Cold, then a break, or but. Anonymous envelope slides under the precinct door. USB drive with audio, grainy recording. Voices muffled. Handle it quick. No mess. Timestamp. Location, pings to a burner near Anacostia Metro. Voice print, too distorted, but one phrase lands like a gut punch. The kid on QO owes what? Money. Respect. Reyes plays it on loop, jaw set. This is our thread. Hale nods. But his eyes say doubt. Is it real, or a plant? Lab confirms authentic. No edits, yet tracing the sender. Dead end. Smoke. No fire. Here's where it gets human raw. Hale confides over stakeout burritos one night. These cases they burrow. Darrell's got that smile in the yearbook pic. Like he's got the world figured. Makes you wonder, what if we're missing the obvious? Yeah, what if? Because the psychology here, it's a spider's web. If it's Tate, it's grudge-fueled parole hanging, ego bruised, snap. Or deeper. Gang fringes pulling strings. Darrell caught in crossfire he never saw. Stats don't lie, 80% of DC homicides tie to beefs or drugs. But Darrell, clean sheet. No priors, so why? Motives the ghost. Reyes profiles it in her notebook. Opportunist, nah. Too precise. Personal vendetta. Simmering. Analogies help. Like a debt collector. Who doesn't send bills? He collects in blood. Chilling. Right, and the evasion. Shooter ghosts. No witnesses step up full. Fear, loyalty. In Anacostia, silence is survival. Tanya gets it. Folks love their secrets more than justice sometimes. Wry, but true. Human nature's the real killer here. Trust erodes, tongues tie. Fast forward to the grind's edge. August heat waves, investigation sagging. Reyes pulls OT. Chasing Tate's crew. Tail on his lowrider. Nothing. Interrogations loop. Where were you? Alibus hold. Then pattern interrupt. A sister lead. Darrell's little sis. 14-year-old Mia remembers a note in his backpack. Scribbled. Watch your back. Q. From who? Schoolyard threat, or warning. Handwriting. No map, but it stings. Family huddles tighten. Mia drawing pictures of Darrell at the hoop. Tanya pasting reward posters in shop windows. Community marches. Justice for Darrell. Chants echo off the metro. MPD ups the ante. Billboards on 2095. PSAs on go-go radio. Tips trickle. A burner dumped in the Anacostia River. Fished out by divers. Fingerprints. Smudged, but inside. SIM card. Last call to that blocked number. Circle closes. Sort of. Traces to a pawn shop. Buy cash. No cam. Dead end again. Reyes slams her desk. One more push, but October rolls in. Leaves turning, case yellowing. Unsolved. Filed under major cases, but alive in Tanya's heart. So where does that leave us? Peering into the void. No arrest. No confession. Just questions piling like autumn leaves. Was it Tate? Alibi cracking underweight, or a ghost from Darrell's past? A friend who turned. The audio. Bait or breakthrough. And that note. Mia's find. It haunts. Reyes still walks Q Street some nights. Coffee in hand. Eyes scanning shadows. We'll get him, she says. Quiet conviction. Tanya. She's still now speaking at schools. Pushing for youth programs. Darrell's voice won't die. That's the payoff here. From a single shot to a movement stirring. We've braided it all. The kid with dreams. The badge chasing echoes. The web of whys, but the shadow lingers. Evil doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers through a jimmied door. And in the quiet after, cases like Darrell's remind us. Vulnerability hides in the everyday. A walk home, a borrowed bike, trust misplaced. Truth slips easy through fingers. Through fear, but it doesn't have to. Someone out there holds the key. A name, a plate. That tat's full story. If this gnaws at you like it does me, speak up. MPD's line is open 2020-727-9099. 25K waits. Justice. Priceless. If Darrell's story hit hard, left you staring at your own shadows, stick around. Hit subscribe. We've got more truths clawing out of the dark. Next up, the 24 vanishing in Georgetown that twisted a family inside out.
Bell on comments open. What's your theory on Q Street? Let's chase these ghosts together.